Hey everybody, I wanted to talk to you about two books that I just finished reading or listening to, depending on how you look at it. The first one I read, it's called The Year of Living Danishly, and the second one is The Secrets of Happy Families. And I will talk to you first about The Year of Living Danishly because it was a good book, but The Secret Happy Families it was just phenomenal. I'm really excited about it, and I want to kind of talk to you about how it's already changed how we do things at my house, and give you some ideas about some of my favorite tips from the book. So the first book, The Year of Living Danishly, is by Helen Russell, and her husband gets a job at Lego and they moved to Denmark for a year. And so for that year, each month is a different chapter, and she talks about something that the Danes do differently than the rest of the world, and why. She tries and looks at the research on why they are happier, why their families run the way they do. Their healthcare and education's all funded by the government, and so while they pay more taxes than anybody else, they also don't really have to worry about some of the things that most people are concerned about trying to finance. Since Denmark is very, very cold in the winter, she talks about how those seasons and weather affect family life, how people kind of lean into it in what's called hygge, or Hygge. If you see that word, that's how you pronounce it, hygge. And it was just really interesting to hear about how Denmark does it. Since reading the book, we have lit loads more candles, and we're just trying to kind of lean into the idea of cozying up family time reading and relaxing, enjoying the seasonal changes instead of hoping for just the warmer weather to come back. So it was a neat book. I'd say it was good. I gave it a 3-star rating. Not that my ratings are, I'm still trying to kind of rethink the rating system. So if you've got ideas down below, I'd love them. The second book is called The Secrets of Happy Families, and it is by Bruce Feiler, one of the two. I listened to this on, it's called Hoopla, actually. It's a library borrowing app, and it's my new favorite invention because I think it will save me. It will save me on library checkouts, but also Audible fees. So I'm good on that. So the idea behind Secrets of Happy Families is he talked to experts in different fields, whether it was coaching or computer programmers, all kinds of different, the military. He talked with all the different experts to try and figure out what makes groups work better together, and then he tried to figure out how to apply that to family life. And this book was so exciting for me. I had it on whenever I could, and I was just doodling down little things that popped into my head. I know I will be thinking about a lot of these things to kind of implement in the future because I can't do everything all at once. But the main things that we took away that we are doing first actually happened at the beginning of the book. And if you are a programmer, which my husband is, this is not new to you, I don't think, but it's called Agile Development. And the idea there's actually also a TED Talk on Agile in family use. So I will try and link that below as well if you want to look at that, listen to that, instead of read the book on it. But this idea is brilliant. What the companies were having a hard time with people from the top giving all these directions down to the bottom, and there was no feedback system. And so what Agile does is it gives everyone a voice and helps things on a task board run a lot smoother than it would of just like a checklist that you have gotten from your boss. So how you do that in families, we implemented what was called a family meeting, and I've heard about this in college when I was studying psychology, so it took me a while, I guess, to really implement something that I learned a long time ago. But we did our first one on Sunday, and it was brilliant. For the family meeting, everybody has a chance to answer some questions to figure out what goals they want to work on as a group. So the questions that he uses are, what do you think our family did well this week? What do you think that we can do better at in the future? And how do you think we can do that? And we all took turns answering that individually. If there were too many things, you can vote on it to figure out what is important to work on first. We talked about disrespect and how we can try and minimize how we talk to each other disrespectfully. Everybody agreed on consequences in case that didn't work out. For us, it's you have to say 2 nice things about somebody if you said something mean about them, including me. And it was just a really nice venue for everyone to kind of air things that they're dealing with as a family, in that. Then we got out the task board, and my husband explained it so beautifully. I do not know if I will be able to do quite as good of a job, but we have a weekly one, and then for our homeschool, we came up with a daily one. And this has been great because my kids don't need to ask if they can play on the iPad or if they can watch a movie. They just know they can go look at the board, and if their tasks for the day are not done, the answer's already no. But for the week, this is how it works. Same way for both. To do, doing, and done. And everybody has their own color coordinated Post-its. So what you do is you write down task on each Post-it, and then you put it in the to-do pile. By the end of the week, the goal is to move all of these things over to done. And it's nice for kids because they can feel like they have ownership over it. They can move it over themselves. I don't have to. It's kind of like everybody likes to have a gold star or a check, at least I do. And this is kind of a cool way for kids to feel like they are getting something accomplished at their own rate, their own. My 6-year-old even did a finished living room all on his own, which I really love. So as you're trying to get it more towards the doing and then at least done. So we still have a ways left to go on our to-do task, but this has just been really exciting for our family for a lot of reasons. I feel like I don't have to nag as much. I can just say, look at the board, and eventually, hopefully, they'll get in the habit of doing that themselves. You can't put on a task for someone else. They have to agree with it, so they can kind of add their own. For school, I put on their own tasks, but also it's important to add fun things in. Like this week, we had like make Christmas cards, make Rice Krispie treats, those kinds of things. So they have something to look forward to too. And it's just been really refreshing to feel like we're moving forward as a family, that we're all everybody wants to have a family that's working better together. It was nice because during the meeting, we had a nutcracker that we took turns holding whenever we were talking. So everybody knew, okay, be quiet, that person is talking. So that was just kind of a really cool thing, because my 6-year-old today was like, well, I need my nutcracker so I can talk since we're taking turns. I was like, it's okay, we can just take turns without the nutcracker, which I thought was adorable. Other things that I really picked up from the book were families need to be adaptable. So what is working for you with a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old is not going to work when you have children in their 40s and are trying to figure out how to deal with end-of-life care or moving issues, those kinds of things. He talks about talking a lot and keeping the conversation going. In the book, he covers sex education and fighting fairly, unfairly, all kinds of things. So I think anybody can take away at least 1 or 2 really, really great nuggets from this book. The third thing he talks about is playing together, making things a fun mission, whether it's a family vacation where you get stuck at the airport and you're trying to figure out how to entertain small kids. Just make things more of a game. Super Better, which I read earlier this year, also kind of talked about making things a fun game, which sometimes you win at and sometimes you lose at. He used the whole Amazing Race kind of idea on their last family vacation, and he said it was so fun because everybody was trying to work together. You got extra bonus points if you talked his wife into ziplining with everyone. If one kid was having a hard time with something, you could say, hey, if you go help your sibling, be brave enough to do this, I'll give you 3 extra bonus points. So there's just kind of a cool way to move your team forward, and thinking of your family as a team was kind of a neat opportunity for me. Especially with the holidays coming up and a lot more family time. My husband gets the whole week of Christmas off, so it'll be kind of a cool thing to see how we can come up with more fun things to implement in our day, to grow as a family together, and not just get stuck in the monotony of it all. So I really recommend checking out The Secrets of Happy Families by Bruce Feiler. It was phenomenal. And if you've read either of these before, put it in the comments anything that you took away from it. If you have questions about how our family is doing it, or about the book, I would love to hear from you. If you have other book suggestions that have really transformed how you've thought of your family, put that in the comments. Comments are my favorite, so the more comments, the better. And I will talk to you all later. Bye.